Hello. So, let's talk a little bit more about money as a resource. And I hope you were able to watch the video that I posted last week about thinking about money in a new way so that we can talk about money in a new way. I really hope that if you ever feel guilty about money, if you feel shame around money, if you ever have any super negative feelings about money, please come to the table. Let's see if we can turn that conversation around. Money is money. It just happens to come with a lot of emotional attachments. And those emotional attachments are what can cloud our decisions about the money. Money itself is pretty straightforward. It comes in, it goes out, it exists. So, I talked about how you trade one resource for another resource. And so you trade your time, your 9-to-5 time, for a salary, and that's how you earn money. So let's just go there. Have you ever looked at someone else's stuff and been jealous or thought, man, I wish I could do that? Or, man, how did they get to that situation? Like, why do they get to walk around with that great bag? Or why do they get to drive that car? It happens. We know it. We know that thought goes through our minds. There's a lot to unpack there. A lot to unpack. So one thing that I've worked really hard to be conscious of is that everyone trades something differently than you do. We trade resources differently. We have different occupations. We have different backgrounds. We live in different locations. Everybody has access to money differently. And so, this is not intended to be a negative conversation, but just to start the conversation. So, on one hand, you can consider the fact that it's possible that someone is able to drive something or carry some bag that you really like and you're not carrying because they're maxing out a credit card. That's possible. And if that's the case, we don't want to enter into that with a shame-filled or to project shame, but that is a possibility. The other possibility is somewhere along the line, something was traded differently. I feel like this is why I don't mind having open and honest conversations about money when I'm in a conversation with someone I trust. I'm probably not going to just tell everybody all my business, but I don't mind talking about money because we're all in different situations and we can all learn from each other. And if someone over here is doing something great, I can learn a tip from them, or they might learn something from me, or we might just be fascinated with how the other has got to this point in their life, and we don't have to trade tips. We don't have to trade great ideas. We can just trade appreciation that the other person exists, and here is how they have survived to this point, and they just happen to have followed a course in their life, part of it that might have been planned, for them, and part of it might have been based on their own decisions and their own path. We all approach it differently. We all handle it differently. But money is money. And money is not... It's not something that we have to view negatively or shamefully. So let's start chatting.